Hi there, my name's Gillian Brown. I'm an osteopath and I run the Harpenden Injury Clinic. It's the time of year when people are out gardening and I'd like to give you some tips on looking after your back whilst you're gardening. And the problem occurs is people are bent over for a long period of time, shoveling or digging, and they tend to get postural fatigue in the back muscles. So what's going on there? So when they're in a forward flex position for a long period of time, the muscles are having to work really hard, the muscles at the back of the spine here, to control the spine so that we don't flop down. And then what happens is those muscles will go into spasm and the joints of the back can also be very, very stiff. So they'll get up after a few hours of gardening and find that their back is extremely stiff, and then they'll come in to see my clinic. Now, there are some tips that I can offer you in order to prevent this from happening. So I want you to think of gardening like an exercise routine. So what you need to do before you exercise is warm up the back. So I'm going to show you some back exercises that might help with this. So first of all, coming onto the back, this is ideally done on a carpeted floor, and flexing the knees forward. So you want to be doing that for about 30 to 60 seconds just to warm up the back. And then we can then turn that into a stretch. So either off the side of your bed or on the ground, just stretching the leg forward and holding back with the arm. And that's called a spinal twist, and it puts a nice stretch through the back. So we could do that on one side and then on the other side of the back as well. So again, let the weight of your leg lean over and your back stretches. And then the final stretch would be, this is called a cobra in Pilates terms or yoga terms. We come onto the front, and this time we're going to put an extension through the back. So make sure that you keep the trunk on the ground and you're just going to extend the back as far as you can, breathing out as you come up. So breath in and then breath out. And then you'd want to do this about 10 times in total. Okay, so I'm just going to show you a few. So that would be about 5 minutes of warming the back up before you do your gardening session. Other top tips would be that you would make sure that you change position regularly. So if you're in this position here for 15 to 20 minutes, move away from it, try a different position, try and do something else in the garden, and then you're not putting strain on the same back muscles. The second tip would be make sure that you take a rest. So after you've done gardening for 20 to 30 minutes, go and get a drink, rehydrate, and just have a rest for 5 or 10 minutes and then let your back calm down. And then finally, don't try and do all your gardening at once. Do it for a couple of hours maximum. So I hope that helps, and if you do get into trouble, then make sure you take some anti-inflammatories, some painkillers, and then ideally come and see someone like myself to try and get your back sorted.